I always make you guys suffer through this. Okay. Well, that was a great episode, guys. We'll see you here next. Oh, wait, we're doing game
How
time.
many times can we do this fake out? Let's
Oh,
go.
we got you this time, didn't we? This is the Game Talk for PlayStation 2 month, where we're talking all things PlayStation 2. And we're going to start with BioPhoenix. BioPhoenix, what's one PlayStation 2 game that you brought to the table today?
Okay, so before I get to my game, I just want to say that I actually got the PS2 pretty late. It was about like late 2005, early 2006. I want to say it was late 2005. I think that seemed the most accurate. So, yeah, I that's when I got it, and there was a couple of games that I've gotten that that came out earlier that were pretty cheap to get, and I've was building up over all those times. And of course there was one game that that really made me really want to get the system that I really wanted, but the game was like really hard to get, and it wasn't like an expensive game either, because this was back then when games were actually affordable. So yeah, so the game that I was looking for, it was cheap, but I would just never be able to see it anywhere I go. And I went to like multiple stores like many times, like throughout like a month, and yeah, it was hard to find. But anyways, the game I'm talking about is it's part of a series that I really love the shit out of. You guys that know my channel, you probably know what I'm talking about because I never shut up about it. And that's the fourth Deception game called Trapt on PS2. Came out in 2005, made by Tecmo before they merged with Koei. I don't think it was
Headstrong, I'll take you on. Headstrong,
Oh my
I'll take
God.
on. A trap, right?
Yes, yeah. The funny thing is, that was like the first thing I thought of when I heard that name back then. I was like, why did they name this game this? This is so stupid. And the other thing too is that like on the logo of the box, the R is like backwards, like how like the logo is on that band. So I'm like, what the fuck is this? But no, thankfully that song does not play in the game because
Thankfully, what? That'd be amazing.
because
Save that for a different game. One that's not about deception.
yeah, no, it wouldn't fit the game at all. Though I would have laughed if it was in there though. It's just for amusing shit. But anyways though, so in case you guys don't know what the series is, it's basically a series where you're usually playing as like a character that's like stuck in some sort of like castle or like a mansion that looks really dark and gothic like. And then of course there's like there's usually a reason why you're stuck in there. It usually depends on the game to game, but in this game it's because you got framed for killing the king and you got to run away. You run away to this like random mansion, and then it turns out that it's like possessed by like Satan, and you actually end up getting like your arm turns to like Nightmare from Soul Calibur, so it looks all like demonic like, and that allows you to like place like traps like anywhere you want, and you gotta like harvest the souls of people that try to kill you, because a lot of people will try to kill you for really stupid reasons, but it's like, well, fuck it, like it's fun, so who cares? So yeah, that's basically the story of the game. It's very simplistic story, nothing super deep, but it gets the job done. I think it's fun. It's kind of cool. And yeah, like I said, I like the gameplay a lot. Like it has a lot of like strategy elements to it where you can like a lot, like anyone that plays this game, like chances are you're probably going to play it very differently than what someone else would, because there's so many different combinations of like ways that you can complete a mission. Like for example, if someone could like throw down just a boulder over and over again onto someone, or someone could just like throw a boulder but then like use like a push wall to push the boulder like flying out across the room and then just like hit someone like that. Like, there's a lot of really creative combos that you can come up with, and there's also like other stuff that they added into it. Like there's like one that were like, it's like almost like a fatality thing where it's like this like crazy epic thing that would happen where it just like massacres them, and it's really funny and weird. And I love the music in the games a lot. They're really dark, kind of intense sounding. Although weirdly enough, the music in the fourth game is probably my least favorite in the series, but it's still good. So I still like that. And I think the graphics are really good for PS2. They came out in 2005, so it definitely does still look good for what it is. And what else can I mention about it that I haven't talked about without like geeking the fuck out? Well, I guess okay. Actually, one little thing I will say, but when I bought my copy of that game, well, I didn't actually buy it. So what happened was that I was talking with one of my sister's friends, and we were just talking about PS2 games, and then of course, I was talking about like ones I was looking for, and I mentioned the game Trapped, and I was like, oh, you probably never heard of it. It's some game called Trapped, and he's like, oh, I have that game, and I'm like, oh shit, what? Like, really? Like, you fucking own this fucking game? And he's like, yeah, I have it. I played it once and didn't really like it. And I was like, oh, really? Well, can I buy it off you? And then he's like, nah, I'll just give it to you for free. And he gave me like a loose disc copy of it. So that's actually how I got my original copy back then, was that I tried looking for it in the stores, couldn't find it, but no, some dude that was friends with my sister gave it to me.
That's sick.
So yeah, it's kind of funny how that worked out, but yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for now. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of the series. I always like talking about it with people that never heard of it, because it was actually one of the reasons why I even like doing my channel, is because like back in the day when I played the original game on PS1, I used to like tell people about it, and people were always really interested. Like, wow, like I've never heard of a game like this before. Like, this is fucking cool. And, that kind of led me to what I do with my channel, where I like to talk about games that people don't know about. And it's like, yeah, like I played this and I think it's cool, or I think it's shit. But even if I think it's shit, I can still take some interesting elements out of it. So there is that. But yeah, that's it.
I'm reading a little bit about this game, and it says that the producer changed the name from Deception 4, like you said, to Trapped, because he considered it the first part of a new series. Did that series ever happen? Are there other Trapped games?
Or from what I remember, in Japan, the title of it is called Kagero 2, and then it has like a subtitle that I can't remember. So what I think it is, from what I remember, is that there is the first game on PS1 that's just called Tecmo's Deception, and then there's the second one, which is called Kagero Deception 2, and then the third game is just called Deception 3, but in Japan, the third game has like a completely like other name, and then that one is Kagero 2. So it's almost like a sequel to the one with Millennia in it. From my understanding, that's what I remember looking it up with the name. Yeah, the names are fucking weird. I don't know why the names are so confusing. Like the fourth game that's on PS3 and PS4 is literally called Deception 4. So it's like, well, why? Like, can you just call it 5?
That's weird. So they were starting a new series and did a different nomenclature, and then went back to the old one?
Pretty much, yeah.
Do you think it's because it didn't sell well? Like, people didn't realize it was the same thing and maybe passed over it?
I would probably say that might be accurate. I mean, I think the series did well enough, obviously, to get sequels, which is a surprise. But yeah, because I know the third one came out in 2000 on the PS1, so that was pretty late. So, and there was like a bit of a gap between that one and the PS2 game. So, yeah, I'd say they probably wanted to try to change the name. And like I said, like the fact that it's called Trapped and the band Trapped was like a big thing. They probably wanted to cash in on that. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they did.
I was confused too, because I know, like, since you've been talking about Deception, I've been really trying to get into it and thinking, what's the best way I can get in? And, so I looked up like Deception 4 on PS4, but the PS3 one always comes up first, and they look like different games. Like, I think they might have different subtitles and they have different cover arts. But, I understand that maybe this one was like kind of a spin-off in a sense. But it sounds, when you're describing it, very similar to what, like, the way that you've described the Deception series, is kind of like a battle against Satan with traps, etc. Do you feel that it strays at all from the formula? Does it bring new life to the series?
Which one? The fourth game, like the newest one?
Trapped, the one that you're talking about.
Oh, that one. I think the story concept is very similar to the very first game, but only that it's not in first-person view, and you're controlling a princess, not like some prince who you can't see yourself in a mirror. So there's that. When it comes to the gameplay elements, I mean, I think the one thing that was a huge improvement over the older games was that it was the first one to not have tank controls. Like, you can actually like move around like a normal person. So
Nice.
there's that. That was a big improvement because, like I said, all like the two other ones on PS1 that were in third person, they had tank controls. So if you weren't a fan of that, then yeah, you probably would like the Trapt better because, like I said, you don't got to deal with that.
So the series started on PS1?
Yes.
Right? Oh, okay. I don't know anything about the series, so.
Yeah, it started in 1996.
And it's stupid expensive to get that PS1 game.
Sadly, for many years, that game was like dirt cheap all the time. Like I used to see it for like $20, like or less, and like every time I'd see it and I'd have enough for it, I would literally buy a copy and then just give it to people. Just be like, here, take this game, you'll love it. This is like.
It says that the developers experienced difficulty in creating the enemy's artificial intelligence due to them behaving differently depending on their personality.
That can be true, yes. Some of the AI characters, mostly like the ones that you first fight, are always going to be like really stupid, where they're always going to like run into the same shit over and over. But I feel like as later on, like when you get further into the game, they do get a bit smarter. Like they still do make some stupid mistakes here and there, but I do think like most of the times, like the different classes will like have like different like effects. Like for example, like there's like I remember there's like a certain archer character that you meet later who can't like get hit by like certain things, so you kind of have to change up your strategy. You can't use like the same shit they used against them like before, so you gotta like do stuff like that. And but when it comes to like the AI itself, I think it is a little inconsistent, I will admit, but at the same time I kind of feel like if the AI was too good in a game like that, I feel like the game like wouldn't be like that fun because like they'd be like impossible. Like there would be no way for you to kill them.
Well, like
dodge everything.
I know it's not a tower defense, but it kind of reminds me of the concept of like a tower defense game, which I've always been super into. Are you familiar with tower defense games?
Oh yeah, I used to play that shit all the time on Mini Cliff.
Oh hell yeah! Anyway, how do you compare and contrast it to like a tower defense style game?
Well, I guess for one, like in Trapt, you don't have like a goal post that you need to like defend constantly. So there's that. You basically, well, the only thing you're defending constantly, I guess, is yourself. You don't want to get hit by a sword or arrow or magic spell or whatever. So I guess there's that, but yeah, I don't know. It's very unique. That's the thing that I like about the series too, is that it's really hard to define it as a genre because it's like okay, what is it? Like, is it like an RPG? No. Okay, is it like a horror game? No. Is it a strategy game? Kind of, but yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, I almost feel like it should be like its own genre. Like, because I know there's another game I reviewed last year, I think. It's a Japanese-only PS2 game called Aku Daikan, where it's literally like the same concept where you just have to trap people that are trying to kill you, but instead of it being in like a gothic horror setting, it's in like a campy Japan setting where it actually has like live-action cutscenes, like a 3DO game, and it's goofy as shit. And yeah, so I was like, after I played that, I was like, yeah, this could be like its own freaking genre. There's just not enough games to make that genre.
There is a genre for it's called trap music.
Oh,
Headstrong, I'll take you on.
yes.
Are you hearing that beautiful music in the background?
Take on anyone.
I got the ice cream truck playing in the background. It was getting picked up.
Oh, I thought you were talking
Ice cream
about
truck.
him and his blobbering.
You guys want a SpongeBob pop?
Yeah, with this melty eye.
Oh, with the eye where it's like literally like on like his like mouth.
I actually do. Those are delicious, dude.
They're good, but they just look like such nightmare fuel when you open up the package.
Yeah.
SpongeBob's eyes. Delicious.
Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe to them button mappers.